That was what Dr. Jack kept telling herself as the military jeep bounced across the endless dunes of southern Egypt. "Satellite imaging doesn't glitch like this," she muttered, staring at the tablet in her hand. The map still labeled the area as Brevard Sector, a strange name for a restricted archaeological zone near the Sudanese border. No one could explain why it was called that. Officially, the Brevard Sector didn't exist. Unofficially, 5 research teams had vanished there in the last 3 years. Hassan wasn't a thrill-seeker. She was a field archaeologist from Delhi, specializing in pre-dynastic burial systems. She believed in pottery shards, soil layers, and carbon dating, not curses. But when the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities contacted her after the disappearance of a French team from Sorbonne University, she couldn't refuse. "Your expertise in sealed subterranean chambers is required," the official email read. The French team had uncovered something beneath the Brevard dunes. They transmitted one final message before losing contact. "It isn't a tomb, it's breathing." The wind began to rise as they approached the coordinates. The Bedouin driver, Azam, refused to go further. "This place is wrong," he whispered. "The sand here, it moves against the wind." Hassan stepped out. The desert was silent, too silent. Then she noticed it. The dunes weren't static. They subtly pulsed, rising and falling like the chest of a sleeping giant. Her rational mind rebelled. Thermal distortion, heat mirage. But her instincts told her something else. The sand was alive. Half buried in the shifting dune was a stone slab, carved, ancient, blackened. Not Egyptian, not Nubian. The carvings resembled neither hieroglyphs nor cuneiform. Instead, they were spirals, hundreds of them, as if something had been scratching its way outward. Hassan brushed away the sand. The stone vibrated beneath her fingers. Not metaphorically, physically, it was humming. They found the French team's equipment scattered around the site. Cameras half buried, tents shredded. No bodies. Only one helmet camera remained intact. Inside the jeep, they played the final footage. The French lead researcher stood in a vast underground chamber. The walls weren't stone, they were layered like muscle fiber. The camera shook. The man whispered, "It's contracting." The floor rippled. The recording cut to static. Against Azam's protests, Hassan descended. The air grew humid, impossible in a desert. The chamber was massive, circular, domed, organic. She touched the wall. It was warm, and it twitched. Suddenly, the spirals on the stone above began glowing faintly in the darkness. Her flashlight flickered. Then she heard it. A heartbeat, slow, heavy, echoing from every direction. Embedded within the walls were shapes, human shapes, preserved, not mummified, encased. The French team, eyes open, frozen mid-scream, their skin fused with the chamber's surface as if absorbed. Hassan stumbled back. The ground beneath her shifted, not collapsing, repositioning like muscles tightening. The carvings weren't decoration, they were instructions. The spirals represented cycles, breathing patterns. The chamber wasn't a tomb, it was an organism, ancient, buried beneath millennia of sand. And the desert above, a protective skin. The Brevard sector was no archaeological site, it was a feeding ground. The heartbeat quickened, the walls contracted. One of the French researchers moved, not freely, but his eyes rolled toward her, still alive, trapped within living tissue. Hassan screamed. The floor opened in a circular ripple, sand cascaded downward like a throat swallowing prey. She realized the truth. The sandstorms weren't weather, They were inhalations. Azam was shouting from above. The stone slab began sealing itself. Hassan scrambled upward as the chamber convulsed violently. The embedded bodies sank deeper into the walls. The heartbeat thundered. The entire desert trembled. She reached the surface just as the dune collapsed inward. The sand flattened, calm, still, as if nothing had happened. Satellite images the next day showed no anomaly. No entrance, no carvings, no disturbance. The Brevard sector had smoothed itself over. The ministry denied her report. Official statement: no excavation site exists in the specified coordinates. Karim refused to speak of it again. But weeks later, Hassan received an email from an unknown sender. Attached, a new satellite image. The dunes formed a perfect spiral pattern, visible only from above, and at its center, a dark circular depression, like a pupil, watching. Epilogue. In a quiet laboratory in Cairo, Hassan reviewed soil samples she had secretly collected. Under the microscope, the grains weren't mineral, they were organic, microscopic cells, dormant, waiting. That night, as she lay in her apartment, she heard something that made her blood freeze. A faint, rhythmic sound. From beneath the floor, a heartbeat, slow, heavy, breathing.